Morning, my favorite people. Coming to you this morning on this Friday. We got SmackDown tonight. Just gonna do a quick video because I got some things I want to talk about. So, my son has PS5, and he was playing the new WWE 2K25 this morning, and I'm like, I'm not paying attention to what's going on. And I'll be honest with you, man. He knew exactly what I was because I kept like giving him a face, like what? And there's a Bloodline storyline on there, or whatever. Seems really cool. It seems really good. I mean, it seems like a really fun game. But I was like, so I see now where their attention went, and a lot of Paul Heyman on there narrating stories and everything, and I'm like, okay, well, it's nice to know where they've been and where their attention's been, because it certainly hasn't been on their shows. Certainly hasn't been on Raw and SmackDown, that's for sure. Video game was great. He loves it. Great. But I'm looking at this thing, and I'm paying attention to what's happening. I'm watching as he's playing, and I'm like, I mean, the dang video game looks better than what's on television. Even though, he said there's some things in this that are snoozers too, which is funny coming from him, because he's usually giving me hell about calling Raw and SmackDown snoozers. But, anywho, Here, I saw something this morning, and I just wanted to touch on it real quick. I wanted to vent about it too, because somebody had a video this morning I saw, and it was titled something about what happens with Cody after WrestleMania. Why didn't anybody say that last year? Nothing against that person, because I like that. I'm going to watch that video later. I just saw the heading. I saw the title. And it made me think, why didn't anybody do that last year? Because there was no story written, obviously, for anybody after Mania. They literally had nothing written after Mania last year. And you look at what 24 produced. 24 produced absolutely nothing. 24 produced Punk and McIntyre, a great feud. And Rhea and everybody's favorite Liv Morgan. I mean, 24 was awful. As good as Mania was, 24 was awful. And 25 has started out worse than 24 did. Yes, we've had some things, and we've got potential. Potential's always going to be there. Always going to be there. Because you have so much talent. It's all there. The foundation has been built. Vince McMahon built it. It's there. You've got so much in your hands, and you just refuse to use it. You refuse to use what you have. And, and I've said it on here before, Triple H sold out. The minute, that's one reason Vince never did any of these ads. Vince didn't do the ads in the ring, and the commercials have just gotten absolute. I feel like we get more commercial time than we definitely get more commercial time than match time. I don't think that's close. I'm just talking about in-ring matches. I'm not talking about the promos that are terrible and everything else, right? I'm just talking about match. Because it is wrestling. It is professional wrestling. And I feel like you're getting more ads than you're actually getting professional wrestling. But yeah, I mean, what happens with Cody after Mania? Because we all feel like Cody's about to lose. And the number one question with me is, after that, is does he get what Roman didn't get? Because Roman never got a rematch. It's never even been talked about. It's never even been brought up. Roman never saw Cody again. Not in the ring. Not against him. Not for his title. That never happened. That was never even brought up. It was never even mentioned. So will Cody get a rematch with Cena after Cena beats him at Mania? At Backlash or whatever the next PLE is, or Saturday Night Main Event? However they want to work it. will Cody get that rematch, and what happens to him when it's done? You know, I'm really hoping they learned a lesson from last year, because that bomb dropped last year, and it was just, you know, and hey, look, man, I'm glad Cody finished the story. I am. If I could go back in time now, I wished he wouldn't have, because of how bad his reign's been. But at the end of the day, you know, I'm glad that happened somewhat, I guess. I don't like, because, you know, hindsight's 2020. I mean, you see how it worked out. So obviously, if you go back in time, you'd be like, we should probably not take the belt off Roman right now. But I mean, it was a good story. People were interested. I got back involved only because of this whole Roman Rock Cody thing last year. Is why I started watching again. And so it had me, and I'm stuck. And a year later, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, what the hell was I doing? But I can't turn away, man. I'm too invested. I want better stories. This has just been bad. And I know with the Cena turning heel thing, I mean, it's got me hanging on a string here, and I'm like, all right, let's see what they do with it, because they have as good as that could possibly be, they also have the potential to mess that up too. Unfortunately, I don't think they will. This is serious enough to, I believe. I don't think they'll mess this up. I don't think they will. I mean, God, please don't mess this up. Please don't mess. It's bad that I feel that way. You know, like when my Eagles play the Super Bowl, people were asking me that week going in, hey man, aren't you excited your Eagles are playing in the Super Bowl? And I'm like, well, we're playing against the Chiefs. I don't know how that's going to go. Yes, we're better than they are, but they're favored a lot, and they like to, you know, they get calls that other teams don't get. So we'll just see how it goes. But it's kind of like that with this. It's different but same. Now, it's kind of, like I said, looking back at it, that was a bad analogy. But you just don't know what WWE is going to do with the tools that they have. They could totally drop the ball on this like they have all year, or they could this could get blown up. I was intrigued when this first happened, going in even before it happened, and I felt like it was going to. If they do this right, and they take some pages out of the NWO book, don't do NWO, but take some pages out of it, build a stable. I did love the other night when, last Monday, when Logan Paul was out there talking about, you know, he'd sell his soul to The Rock, he'd give his soul to The Rock. See, I felt like that was maybe future seeds planted. I think that he would be I've been saying that. He was the first one I mentioned when I said build a stable behind Cena, have a couple of guys with him. He was the first guy that I mentioned. Logan Paul should definitely be in the mix with that. That's another thing too, is like, will they move Cena? Because I mean, that title is a Thursday. That's a SmackDown title. It's a Friday night title. In my opinion, they should swap. Gunther's belt has been so saturated. It's just been watered down to next to nothing. That title is nothing more than an IC belt. Honestly, the IC belt's probably got more strength than it does right now. They needed to put it on They need to put that belt on somebody who can get that back, because Lord knows he lost the prestige. Nothing against. It's not Gunther's fault. I don't blame Gunther. I blame the writers. I blame the people in charge. I don't blame Gunther. They just destroyed his character after Crown Jewel. So that's their problem. They messed him up. You know, he's okay when he's doing his thing. I've got nothing against Gunther at all. Gunther's actually pretty good when you give him, when you go out there and let him do what he does. He's good. It's just not him. It's the writing. It's what they have him out there doing. It's just awful. They've made him weak against this Jey Uso mascot. They've made him weak. Not necessarily even against him. I shouldn't have said that. More mainly because they've got him out there going against Alpha Academy, and they're just a bunch of jobbers. And you got him struggling with them. Like he should be beating them in 5 minutes or less. You know, you have to make him strong. The only way you're going to make that feud better is if you make them strong. You have to build both of them. You have to build them up. And tearing them down does not make a good match. It does not make for a good feud. It does not make for me. I don't care. When somebody's constantly getting beaten on and drug in the mud, like, I don't care. Who cares? You know? Who cares? You're not making it interesting. You're not. So, anyway, I kind of went off on a rant there. But y'all get what I'm saying. Like, the video game looks pretty nice. But I can see where their attention's been. It certainly hasn't been on their shows. Where is Cody going after Mania? Will he get the rematch? Will he go on vacation? Because we all know Cena's winning at Mania. It's another thing that's so predictable. You know, what happens to Cody after Mania? The question that was never asked last year. Because he had nothing, absolutely nothing written for him after Mania last year. He had no feuds lined up. Roman went away. And you just didn't know what was going to happen. And that was the end of that. So, what happens with Cody after Mania? Y'all answer that question down below. And I will see you guys on the next one. Y'all have a wonderful Friday. Enjoy SmackDown tonight. I know I will, and I'll probably be back tomorrow to complain about it. Love you guys.